What shall we call our civilization? Let's call it... Wait. So this is the American Empire. Let's call this the... Karate Kid 3 sucked Empire. Short description. Karate Kid. Oh, this is not 2. 2 is okay. 3 was the worst. Short description. I hate Daniel San. City adjective. Plopsky. Beautiful. Now we just jump right into that. Leader name Atratzu. Civilization description. Karate Kid 3 sucks. I hate Daniel-san. Plopsky, Washington. American Empire. Alright. Prepared to be amazed by my strategical prowess. So in keeping with explaining strategy games, Atratzu here gonna show you the best strats for how to make your civilization the best. You want to go here to this button, and you want to do that because if you don't have any units, then that means they have nothing that they can attack you with. So you want to go this way. You want to end turn, and you want to do this as fast as possible. Never build a city on the first turn that you have, because if you build a city on the first turn you have, that's like a city that can be productive for you. Why would you do that when there's so much land to explore with this unit? And if you don't find anybody fast enough, then you just go like this. And look at that. You win. Oh, such a good victory. Look at that. All these victories. All these green dots. Good times. 10 out of 10. Let's play. Oh, look at that. That chart. Oh, so impressive. So beautiful. So swift. Welcome back to my thoughts on I'm your host Atratzu, and today we're gonna have a look at Civilization IV or 4. I guess, you know, if you don't read Roman numerals like I do. So I've been trying to play through my Steam backlog of games, so that's why a lot of kind of odd choices have popped up on my channel, and that's pretty much what I've wanted my thoughts for. My thoughts video template for is just to kind of bring bring various games that I've been playing onto the channel, just kind of talk about the experiences that I had with them and moving on. So I played the heck out of Civilization 5, or Civ, because, you know, still going with the joke to try to keep reading Roman numerals. So I played the heck out of that game, and so I went kind of backwards to play Civ 4. But the first Civilization game I played was Civilization Call to Power. So it's been kind of interesting going backwards in line, because we have several more Sid Meier's Civilization games to go backwards in and to experience, because I got a bunch of Civilization games in Humble Bundle. So you can expect that you'll see older versions, and we're going to count kind of backwards. But, you know, it should be interesting and educational for those that haven't ever played this version or are interested in purchasing it, and you can kind of get an idea of what you're going to be getting yourself into with this game. So just to cover the things that I'd like to cover before I get into the game, Sid Meier Civilization IV or 4, and the developer was Firaxis Games, and it was released October 25th, 2005. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So you have here your different choices: single player, multiplayer. I didn't really do anything with multiplayer. I imagine that you could. Yeah, there's a lot of options here. One of these has to be supported in one way or another. It's probably not the best way to play multiplayer, but hey, you got the options, so that's good. Hall of Fame, we should probably not judge this here because I wasn't really trying. One of the things that's really fun about Civilization 4 is that you can name your own civilization as you go along, so that's kind of a really cool feature. This is the Civilopedia, which is thankfully in pretty much every Civilization game I've ever played. It at least had it in Call to Power, and of course it has it here, and they have it in 5. This is just kind of needed because there's just such an overwhelming amount of information that you need to process to be able to jump in and play a civilization game. So there's just a lot of stuff that's going on, and you kind of need to follow along with the technology, the units, the building. So this kind of gives you the idea of what's going on there. Hints, I haven't read these. That would probably be a good thing to read. But there's a lot of just like really good stuff that you can figure out in here. It's actually kind of an educational game in addition to just being a fun, rather complex and in-depth strategy game. It's also kind of educational, because I remember playing this as a kid and learning about civilizations, their leaders, and the different cities in different nations, which is, goodness knows, Mom appreciated that. She was always complaining about how I had all the 150 original Pokemon memorized, and I couldn't tell what our state capital was. Let's not go any farther with that thought process, okay? You have a tutorial. Whoop. No, we don't want to reset the tutorial. We played the tutorial, I guess. I don't remember what it had me do. No point in that. If you're going to boot up the game, go to the tutorial and it'll walk you through the basics of it. Or I might be able to help you enough here. Advanced, this is when you go into the options and you check for updates and mods. I didn't know you could mod this. I guess you can mod Civ 5, so that makes sense. And I guess you can mod that. About this build, credits, or go back. We're going to go back. So let's just jump into a single player game. Okay, you can play scenarios. These are always kind of cool. This seemed a little bit more prevalent in Civ 5 than in Civ 4. I haven't really played any of these, but it'll keep people interested in playing more. It's not really a feature that I used much in Civ 5, just to play enough to get the achievements and to move on. Since there are no Steam achievements on this game, then I'm not really motivated to even work towards that, so I'm not really going to play that. Custom game, custom scenario, these are just nice features that you have in a game. Variety is always great. Having the option to let the player make their own adventure stuff, that's fantastic. Always good. So, we can load or we can play now. Let's play now. So you have the choice between the different types of worlds that you want to be on. I personally prefer Fractal. Oh, wait. No. Wait. Powerful Navy is not optional. Right. This is actually the one that I like to do. I did Fractal last time because I was just like, oh, okay, unpredictable map type. I really like having a bunch of string of islands because I personally really like the Navy route. That's always been my preferred way of playing. It's not popular, though. A lot of people like to have like the land, like the Great Plains, or having Oasis, Pangea. These are typically the popular choices that people would take because they prefer to conquer by land, whereas I've always preferred to just have my own island to myself, and then I feel safe because then I know land units can't just suddenly appear. They don't just walk in from the corner and I'm like, ah, where'd you come from? So I always prefer having a lot of water in between me and my enemies and or friends. Okay, so you have the temperature, which you can choose. You can kind of get an idea just by looking at it, what you're going to get yourself into. Arid, so that's dry. Tropical, that's jungles. Rocky. Cold. Cold, it's winter. Let's go with cold because it's winter at the time that I'm recording this. Sea level, and you could do low, and you'd have more land, or you can do high, because I would prefer to do high because I'm weird like that. World size, this is how many different people that you're going to have there. Let's keep it relatively simple and go for a tiny one just for that. Of course, you also have random on all these elements, so if you don't want to have any idea what you're getting yourself into, random is the way to go. You shouldn't put too much bank onto the world tweaking settings unless you have a very specific way that you want to play, and world size is definitely going to make a difference for what you're getting yourself into as far as game length is concerned. Okay, landmass type, we got that one. Snaky continents. I didn't know you could even choose that. Tiny islands. I don't know what the difference is between these two. Let's just go with what I know. That Now you get to choose which nation you want to be. So America, we probably shouldn't just go through all of them because, you know, the typical ones that you would expect are here. They have significantly less than they had in the 5th installation. What I found interesting is that you can choose between 2 leaders. So the United States can be led by Roosevelt or Washington. Boy, if they went really crazy with that, imagine how many tabs they could have here in the corner. And they have, who else do we have here? The Chinese. They've got 2 choices for the Chinese. They have 2 choices for the English, 2 choices for the French. Napoleon. And the German, Bismarck. Frederick. Alexander. It would be nice if there was more variety for everybody. Gandhi. Never trust Gandhi. That might not be the case in this one, but yeah. And it also gives you an idea of what you're going to be getting yourself into. So typically I liked to choose the English, but that's in Civ 5. Oh. Also look, the leader difference apparently has a difference. I don't know that I've really noticed that, but each nation has a specialization, so depending on how you like to play, you're going to play well with them. So expansive, financial, philosophical, financial. Do we have somebody who's unique? Navy SEAL. Yeah, we could spend a lot of time trying to figure out which one would be optimal for the strategy and the map that we're going to be playing on, but let's just go with something familiar. So let's choose Rome. I've suddenly forgotten how to alphabet. There we go. Rome is always a solid choice in my opinion, but you know, they are kind of war oriented, but hey, I like Rome. Rome has been the option that you see, Caesar was nodding. He closed his eyes. He was just like, yes, yes, Atratzu always chooses Rome. We go way back. Okay, never mind that name. Somehow it can call the name on the computer or something, so it actually like puts in the name, which means that I need to update my computer to have Atratzu instead of my name on it. So never mind that. Leader name, Atratzu, of course. Civilization description. This is kind of where it gets interesting because, all right, you got Roman Empire. We can name it whatever we want. So if I wanted to be thematic, I could call ourselves like the Talgallan Empire. Short description. No. That doesn't sound right. Rome. Talgallan. I guess it would be just like Tal would be it. City adjective. Roman. It would probably be Talgallian. Boy, the things I can do with my name. Or you could have whatever have you. This is kind of just like the template, and you want to make sure you have the grammar right so that it makes sense when it's used. For example, if we want birdies, short description. What? Civilization description. Western Songburbs. Leader name. Leo Sparrow. Bam. Now we're in for some real shenanigans now. All right, and then it gives you a game snapshot overview of what you got yourself what you're getting yourself into. These are settings. I have noticed that I am not particularly good on higher difficulties. I tend to play Chieftain, Warlord, or Noble. I tend not to go much higher than that. It all depends on what you want out of the game. If you want to have a tougher game and more of a struggle, then play at higher difficulties. If you just want to play through, do it at a lower difficulty just for the sake of not being a complete wimp. Let's bump it up to Warlord, so I'm not completely there. We'll also switch it to quick. As you can see, depending on the options that you choose, the game will go faster or shorter. So if you mouse over it, gives you the whole idea. Experience a full sweep of time as you choose the speed. The game is bound to take longer, but feel like a normal game. Marathon. This extremely long game speed will allow almost an entire normal game's worth for turns for each era. In other words, your facial hair will look like Gandhi's by the time you're done. Does Gandhi have a long beard? Alright, we're going to choose quick though, so it's going to be faster and we can progress a little bit faster. Depending on the computer that you're using, this might be one of the reasons that attracts you to the game. Depending on the computer that you're using, it might take more or less time to load it. So that it's always nice to have some older games in your Steam library so that you can draw up the old Steam games and play them. Alright. What do we have here? Julius Caesar, Western Songburbs. The sun rises on year 4000 BC. Since time immortal, the birdies people have lived a nomadic life. After years of wandering, they are ready to settle down and found your first city. Little Sparrow, your people have vested absolute power in you, trusting that you can build a civilization to stand the test of time. Continue. Bam. Ta-da. Alright, so, controls. Pretty simple. You can't use WASD to move. I just tried. Uh-oh. I just did a command. Don't just WASD. You can move around with the arrow keys. You can move around by moving the mouse cursor to the sides of the screen. You can not do any of these mouse clicky movements. You can scroll wheel out and in. There are probably, yep, you can use the, I thought that would do something. I'm using the plus and minus keys. They're always keyboard shortcut approximations. What I used to get through is just the simple, straightforward using the arrow keys or using the mouse to the side. So you got two different units here that you start out with. You have here the settler who builds a city, and then you also have the warrior. Contrary to my introduction, you probably want to build your city in the first or second turn. I've always been a advocate, a sucker, I don't know. I just like to make my city immediately and just start going. Not always the best strategy, but typically you're going to start out in the best option space that you can, and the longer that you take trying to find the best spot, the longer all the NPCs have already made their cities and are advancing civilization-wise. Especially on a faster game speed, you got to make the city fast. So you'll notice that if you mouse over, there are keyboard shortcuts that are shown and a description of what you're going to be getting yourself into. So if you want to play faster, you can learn the keyboard shortcut so we can move the mouse away and press B to build a city. Now you can customize it. What would we like to name this? Let's name it Rome. I'm not going to do anything or try to be funny yet. Keyword yet. It's only funny if people think it's funny, right? And let's make a worker boat. This is where it's tough. Because you're just like, okay, maybe we should make a warrior, maybe we should make a worker. I think a worker boat because we only have one way out, so 10 turns for that. Now, something that I thought was really interesting, noticing the user interface changes from Civ 4 to Civ 5, you'll notice that you have here in the blue recommended by economy, recommended by military. These are your advisors. They were a little bit better developed in Civ 5, but they're still just kind of If you don't know what to do, you can follow them. You'll find yourself doing your own thing very often, though you don't always want to resort to what they're telling you to do. You're the leader here. They're just your advisors. They're not the boss of you. You are fully entitled to follow your own way. Now, I highly recommend getting used to pressing enter to end your turn because you're going to do a lot of it. Now we have research choices. This is where I tend to... There's a couple different ways you can go into this. The shallow way, which is what I do, is I just look at which one's going to take the least amount of time, and I do that one. Hunting. I'm 2 turns, hunting will be done, and I can then move my advancement onto something else. It works well, but the people that get into the civilization strategy could probably tell you better. I'm not going to pretend to be that. I play pretty filthily casually. You can choose the big picture, and you can get a bit more of an idea of what you're getting yourself into. So, to elaborate... this is showing you what you need to know before you can learn something else. You have to learn hunting before you can learn archery, okay? And you need to learn meditation and polytheism before you can learn priesthood. But you only need polytheism if you want to learn monotheism. And it continues down the line all the way here. Eventually, you're going to end up getting stuck, which is what happened in various civilization games I played when I was younger. I'd be like, why can't I get any farther? Well, that's because I haven't learned writing, and I've gone as far as I can in every other way. Eventually, you need to learn writing before you get to the code of laws. So if you, let's say you just tried to make, okay, mining, and then you made bronze working because you wanted to go to war real fast, and then you made iron working. It's like, okay, where can we take this then? Compass, that's about the extent of it. The explorer, so you wouldn't want to do that. You'd do ironworking, metal casting, masonry, machinery, sorry, not reading really well, guilds, and that's as far as you could get. You couldn't get to gunpowder because you need education, so eventually you're still going to come right back to slowly working your way up. Now, the advantage of this is knowing what you want to build. So archers are really valuable units early on in the beginning, so hunting wouldn't be a bad idea for that reason alone. But again, it's like what you're going to get yourself into. We're on a mostly water world, so we would want probably sailing. And that would give us a galley and a lighthouse, and it would enable trades on coast. I believe that's the trade symbol, right? Can't click it for anything. This technology requires the knowledge of the wheel. It does? Wait. Requires the knowledge of the wheel? How do we get the technology of the wheel? Where do we need to go to get the technology of the wheel? Interesting. There's a little bit more to this than I thought. I'm not going to spend the time to figure it out, but you get the gist. Okay, let's just choose the easiest one. What is this? No, hunting. I'm sticking with my strategy. So while this is going on, the game can get really slow, and you want to keep units around so that you can explore early on in the beginning of the game. That being said, yeah, good thing I didn't make any other troops, huh? This is going to be a real boring explanation, isn't it? All right, let's do masonry now. Wait. Sailing. So we're gonna break my rule that I made earlier. So this is going to be a bit of a boring game. I really should have thought about that before I decided to make the choice that I did, because now there's nowhere else to explore. Well, there is stuff over here, but we can't get there until we have ships. Now you will notice that you can click and drag to set out a designated path. So when I end turn, the character will move to the next spot that I have selected for them at the next available moment. So this will take 5 turns to get over here.
You can't direct the wind, but
okay.
you can adjust your sails.
And let's do mysticism. Now there is a risk. Let's do galley. Can this transport? Cargo space. Yeah, so that's what you have to do to get stuff across the ocean. Okay. You need to make these worker boats to be able to gather goods. So you see I'm moused over here, which is birdies, defense bonus, clams, requires fishing boat, more clams requiring more fishing boats. So if you want to be able to start getting clams, this is a luxury good, which will give your people happiness, I believe. Well, I know it will give your people happiness, and it also acts as a trade good that you can trade to other people. So getting multiple ones, you can trade to somebody else. And you're like, oh, hello, I see that you have their cloth. I have clams. I will trade you clams for my cloth. I mean, I will trade you my clam for your cloth. And you have extra ones you can just spread around. But you can't do it until you start fishing, which will consume the boat. So now, we should have clams. Congratulations, you have first resource, clams. Oh, it's a food resource. We'll raise the health level. Well, there we go. It explained it for me. Don't I look the fool? What's the big picture? Little sparrow. He's giving us a stink eye, isn't he? All right. So we got to build a galley, which again will take a little bit longer than I was anticipating for. Maybe we'll need to re-roll a character. that, or I'll figure out stuff to say while we wait. All right, you fortify. Okay, all right, cool beans. Polytheism, I don't care. We want a galley. We want a galley right now. How about now? Hinduism has spread your lands. Converting will produce +1 in all cities. Or +1 happy smiley face in all cities. Would you like to adopt the new creed? Yes, start incantations. 1 turn of anarchy. So now we're going to be a part of Hinduism. Aight. And so since we're in anarchy, like all science and production has been significantly slowed down. So do not be alarmed when that happens. It happens when you change government systems and stuff like that. Then order is then reestablished. There we go. Very well. Carry on. And we want to build... Oh, you want us to build Stonehenge, do you? No, thank you. We're going to build another galley, because we're going to need more than one. We're going to need a bigger boat. Alright. We'll wake this guy up. Cross. As you can see, this indicates how many are in there. So, 1 red means that that's the one. That, or it's indicating that this unit hasn't moved at all. It's the stack number. Let's do bronze working. Alright, switch. Alright, and let's deposit them here. Ta-da! So now we have another island to explore. Yay! So now we're actually doing stuff. Let's find something to attack. If we find anything to attack. Well, that answers that question, doesn't it? What's over here? Another island. Good thing we're not moving them like that. Something that you should probably know is that the Civilization games are extremely laid back, relaxing, and slow-paced. You need to enjoy the process of exploration, of the gradual build of your... Ooh, they're angry. No. I reject slavery. No, thank you. We're not going to do that. Normally not typically a good choice in the game. Normally you should just embrace whatever happens and just progress your culture as fast as possible. Yeah, I'm not doing so great, am I? They're not happy with me. So, let's figure out why. What in here tells me about the happiness? Okay, so this is what tells us. It's too crowded. We fear for our safety. We demand military protection. So that means that I don't have nearly enough military, so they're all upset about that. Total unhappiness, 8. Part of that is from difficulty also. If you start out on an easier difficulty, it's less painful to do so. Some buildings are making us happy. In our religion, we trust. We just enjoy life. And that buff is higher depending on the difficulty, I believe. Can we enter world builder? No. Exit the main menu. Game details. Gosh dang it. I don't care about that. I can change that, huh? Okay. Let's just make another game where we can like jump into some more action a little bit faster, because it's just going to be really, really slow paced. Exit to the main menu. Yes. Single player. Play now. Let's just make Great Plains. And let's make it a dual map. Nah, still make it tiny. Okay. Let's choose the German. No. Just do random. We'll see what we get. Alright. Get out of here. Leader name. Looking around my apartment, seeing what kind of funny object I can name it after. Christmas tree. Civilization description. Wait. Better idea. Alright. Hopefully I've spelt things correct. If I'm spelling stuff wrong, it's on purpose. Trust me. Civilization description. Alright. Short description. Civ adjective. Whose question mark? Yes. Hose. That's not right. Whose. Yes. Alright. Let's stick it where it's at. We'll do quick and jump right in like so. Play game. Well, Elizabeth, looks like you're part of the nation Christmas spirit. Okay, what do we have here? Let's build you here. We will name you Pongo. And we will build a warrior. We want to start crap as soon as possible. Okay, and we'll do that strategy. So pretty much the same as before. So while you're walking around in this view, you will notice
If you chase 2 rabbits, you will lose
there's some movement differences. So this unit's not a good example. Hey, it's a scout. Perfect. So scout can't always make 2. Okay, I can't find a unit to show the example very well. Basically, normally when you're trying to cross a river, if you're trying to attack across a river, there are disadvantages and advantages. If you're defending yourself when you're on a river is a really good strategy, a really good approach to have. If you are trying to attack across a river, don't do that. How about trying to find a place to cross a river first? So there are benefits if there's a river in between you and the person attacking you. A lot of that's going to come down to just experience and how much you play, and you'll just eventually just get a feel for it. You'll also notice that not all units can travel on mountains. I don't know that any in this game can, unless they are air units. I don't think any ground units are able to travel, even at the late game. I do not believe that they're able to travel at all, which we can jump into a late game towards the end of this video, and then I'll just show what that looks like. Okay, let's see here. Anything over there? You might have also noticed that there they are. The Incan Empire welcomes the glorious who's? People and their leader, Santa Claus. You play ceremonial bells with us, we'll play ceremony ball. Oh, ceremony ball, not bells. Man, wouldn't that be great if it was bells? There shall be peace in our time. Farewell. Well, we might have an idea of where they're at now. Let's do archery. And carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay a weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Boom, 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 boom. Psh, dun, 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 dun. All right. I always like to leave a unit that is defending a city, because at this point, it's unlikely that somebody's gonna declare war on somebody else this early in the game. It happens, especially on higher difficulties. It happens, but the reason I keep one unit near the city or in the city, fortifying in the city, is because then if a barbarian shows up, it doesn't beat the snot out of my city and then take it over. It's always been a risky thing in most games. In Civ 5, you were able to get away from it more often because you had a lot of health on your cities, and yeah, it was unlikely to happen because you could defend yourself a whole lot better. But that was because I played on easier difficulty on that one. Don't judge me. So you have several different choices that you have with your units. You have delete unit to just get rid of it. You might want to do that to make the cost for keeping your units cheaper. That's more significant later on in the game. You have Fortify, which will give you a defensive bonus. Also with, of course, the terrain. This is actually a really fortifiable area. The only place that people can attack from are from the north and the south. So if I really wanted to be fortified, I'd put a unit down here and some units up here, and then nothing's going to get me from the south. Unfortunately, the south is the end of the map, so not exactly the most strategic. It might have been better to make the city over here. You know, it might have been a little bit better, but don't read into it too much. You also have the sentry mode, which lets the unit just travel around and try to uncover the map. That is what we should send our scout to do, but I gotta have something to do while we wait for stuff to happen. Go-to mode. I didn't really use this, but that's just, instead of like right-clicking or any other options, you can just click that. And then explore, automated. The unit remains, sentry, I forget that it's different. Explore automated is what we want to set our scout to. This is that he goes to sleep until somebody shows up. Also, skip turn, or the space key, that's just if you don't want to do anything with him right now. So I'm just like, I don't care. Bam, now we skip his turn. This one, let's just explore automated, so we won't worry about that guy anymore. And let's go this way. Okay, end turn. Oh, we're ahead of them, but just barely. Alright, we'll move this one up. And remember, we skipped turn last time, so now it's fortify. It does take a little bit of time for your unit to dig in, so the longer your unit's fortified, well, it takes only about a turn or two to fortify a unit once the unit's fortified. Fortified? Don't read into that. That was a slip of the lip. Once the unit is fortified, then it gets a defensive bonus. So it's, if you have like 2 units attacking each other on the plane here, the rain on the plane falls mainly on the Spain. If 2 units are attacking each other, 2 barbarians, okay, they attack each other, the attacker is going to have bonuses and the defender is going to have bonuses. On the plane, I don't think they're going to really have that many. If one of them is fortified, that one is going to take less damage and deal about the same amount, or a normal amount to the other. Oh, we see the line. It'll make more sense when we get ourselves into a battle. So pretty soon here, yeah, we're going to start making some stuff just to go to war. It's not going to be a very well planned war because I personally prefer waiting. I prefer, hello Rome. Welcome to Rome, Santa Claus. Care for some salad? I made it myself. Funny joke. Caesar salad. It's funny. Alright, get out of here. So Rome is the one that's closest, so they're probably going to be the biggest threat to us. Alright, let's start making some warriors, war troops, so we can fight. Freaking scouts, get out of here. Okay, let's just go like so. And then let's go like so. And let's go like so. And then let's... battle sign. So, if we were going to attack these bears, going here, you get a bit of a sample there. You get a 25% reduction of damage from crossing the river, and it also gives you the combat odds. Never tell me the odds. So the combat odds for success in this one are 35%. Not the best, but if we're fortunate, maybe they'll attack us across the river. So let's wait a turn. Let's try to fortify. We'll check the unit right away. If you fortify, there is always the chance you might forget. So be careful when you fortify. You don't want to forget a unit. So let's end turn, see what happens. Alright, meditation. Okay, I didn't see where they went. There he is. So now we cross the river. As the never will cross the river. Okay, if we attack now, as you can see, the odds are significantly better, but there is still some problems with the location because we're fighting in the woods, so the woods are more defensible. Just like being on a mountain, that's more defensible as well. So defense bonus, 75%. The forest defense bonus is 50%. So if they attack us, we're still in the better terrain to defend ourselves. So being attacked is still a good thing. The best thing that they could do for us is if they moved into the plains where they have no defense bonus. That's when we're in really good shape. Alright, and turn. Alright, now you get to see a battle. Whomp. Whomp. Oh, beautiful. Perfect. Very well. Carry on, my wayward son. Alright, we want to build another archer. So, we now has a problem. Whether you noticed or not, there's only one person standing here. That is because he has been damaged. So that's the strength here. The strength down here indicates how much health you have. So we were close to dying. Thank goodness we were standing up here, though. Otherwise, we might have died. So a couple different ways you can do this. You could just heal here with this. So fortify unit, it'll take 8 turns to do that. Or we can walk him all the way back here where he'll heal faster. So 6 turns, it might take a little bit longer, but, you know, we'll figure something out. So let's walk our archer over here. And we have a lot of defending units, so we'll take a risk. Since scouts can't do anything in attack, we don't need to worry about betrayal. Uh-oh. Sick? What's going on here? From floodplains, from population, total unhealthiness, from fresh water, from difficulty level. It's too crowded. We fear for our safety. We demand military protection. So that gives you an idea of health. And so the health is the borders of your city. So you want to have your city healthy. I'm not good at this, guys. I was just never really good at this. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't ever give the impression that I was good. I just play games. That's all I'm doing. Okay.
Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation leaves ignorance.
Ta-da! We have founded Buddhism. Let's start the incantations. 1 turn of anarchy. Okay. Anarchy again. Let's start agriculture. Agriculture is always good. And let's just start walking this way. Show what it's like to attack a city, and then we will call it there, and then we'll switch over to another game. Okay. We will continue to move this way. Okay. So Rome must be right there. Mater Iteria Roma. This way. This way.
All present and accounted for.
And as with Civ 5, the musical note means that culture is expanding. So what I probably should be doing is building buildings to help with the health. Do I have that option? Not really. So this probably wasn't the best place to build it for the first time because in floodplain. I didn't even know a floodplain was a thing. Desert, freshwater, roads. Desert. Desert. Plains, plains, plains. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Bad things might be happening. Alright, let's skip this turn. So we got, basically these are the barbarians, and yeah, that was almost bad. We at least have something to defend ourselves with. Okay, what is culture? Culture, growth, can found a new city. Let's do that. So if you want to build a new city, you have to build a settler. So that's what the importance of that unit is. To talk over the simple units, the worker builds tile improvements. The scout just walks around and finds stuff. The Buddhist missionary, you have a missionary depending on which religion that your nation chooses. I haven't really looked into it too much to figure out how you get to choose which one you want. In Civ 5, as soon as you get far enough in religion, in developing a religion, that it just lets you choose whoever you want. The warrior is a melee unit. As you can see in the parenthesis, the spearman is a better melee unit, but it requires copper and iron. And the archer is the earliest range unit. The chariot is the fastest beginning unit, but of course requires a horse. You get different types of buildings. You have a Buddhist monastery, which gives you different perks. An obelisk, which lets for city expansion. If we were playing passively, I'd be trying to build buildings normally. Barracks would be a smart thing if you're wanting to go to war, but I'm not playing particularly smartly, so yeah, oh well. And let's move this guy up here and hope that the lions come towards us. And let's heal. And then we'll select all these. So the way I'm going to select them... Whoop. What did I click? Separate the group. I didn't know that even worked. So the way that I do it is I'm holding down shift and I'm clicking the ones that I want. So shift... Just like, okay, now I've just got the archers selected. Now I got the archers and one of the warriors. Now I've got all three of them selected, and so now they'll all walk in time. That's just pretty typical stuff, though. Let's go towards the lions. By now, it's probably about time that we start looking at... Okay, let's go up here. Maybe we'll be fine. The lions might kill us, though. We will find out. Right now would be a good time to look at diplomacy, because typically if you move a bunch of troops over by another nation's border, they're like, hey, what's going on with you there? That's where we have these buttons up here. So you have here, the city gives you an idea of what your city's doing, what it's doing well, what it's doing bad, some unhappiness, a lot of unhealthiness. It would be good to figure out how to lower that number and increase the health number. So that'd be a good thing to do. It'd also be good if I can get more happiness there too. As the city gets bigger, it's going to get more unhappy because of population density. So it's good stuff to look at here. And if you need a quick look over your entire nation, even more useful. In a farther progressed game, it would make more sense. You have the treasury, which you would get stuff in the treasury if you do less research. So that is an option to you, but why wouldn't you? You need as much research as you can possibly get. And then you have expenses, and early on in the game you don't have that much that you have to pay for, thankfully. Then you have civics, and as you unlock some... Wait, can we choose these already? What's going on with this? Okay, free religion. I didn't think so. Yeah, you need to get the advancements in science before you are able to actually choose these different systems. Government system, legal system, labor, economy, and religion. Interesting stuff though, but it also gives you the benefit of choosing one over the other, which is very nice. Definitely a nice feature. Can sacrifice population to finish production in a city, which seemed really strange. In Call to Power, you would actually get slaves that would be like workers, and in 5, I believe it worked very similar to that as well. So it's kind of odd to me that 4 is so bizarre in its choice with slavery as a labor for civics. Just interesting. All right. Next up, you have here the foreign advisor. So you got relations here, so you can click here and be like, okay, what does this guy think? Okay, this means contact, so they're no real thoughts one way or another, and they are pleased towards. So the Julius Caesar is pleased towards them. They're pleased towards that. Both of them are cautious about me. That's typically what happens. And as you discover more people, then you can just kind of get the idea of where everyone's at. Resources, no connect trade work, not technology. Later on in the game, you get a bit more of a better idea of what's going on if you can trade for stuff. Then you have military advisor, which will let you know where our units are, where their units are. So there are the 2 units there, and there's ours. Didn't really use that option all too much. Science, so we already looked at that tree a bit. Religion. Whoops, no state religion. I can choose my different ones. Wait, can I? Convert. I can convert to no state. So we're gonna leave it the same way that it is. So that's how you change it. Look at that. We're figuring out stuff live together. Just you and me, viewer. Then you have here victory conditions. This is probably something I should have explained a long time ago. For those of you who have not played civilization games before, there are different ways to win. The fastest ways to win will be either conquest or science. All the other ones seem really complicated and convoluted to me. Well, not time. If you survive to whoever has the highest score at 2050, so I'll be alive. I should be alive as long as nothing crazy happens to me. I should be alive at that point in real life, and then we'll find out who has the highest score, and yeah, we'll see who actually wins. That'd be interesting. Come back to this video in a long time and be like, oh, who actually won in real life in 2050? So it's whoever has the highest score, which right now is Santa Claus. I don't remember if there are any other nations that'll be around here. It might only be our three nations here. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes over. Whoever's the highest score is the one that wins at the end of the time. Conquest, basically that means that if I beat these two, then I will have 0 rivals left, and then I win. Domination of the world, population, landmass. I don't understand that one. Conquest makes sense. Domination, isn't that the same thing as conquest? Culture, 3 cities with legendary culture. I don't know how to do that, to be honest. Space race, that is once you get your science far enough, you make these, you build these, and then you assemble a space shuttle, and you send it to space, and bam, you win the space race, and that's it. And then diplomatic, that one's really complicated, in my opinion. It makes more sense in Civ 5 when you can buy out votes from city-states and stuff like that. In this one, it's just like if you're friends with other people, it's a good option. And then you have to build a certain advancement pretty close to the end of the game to be able to, excuse me, not an advancement. You have to build a wonder near the end of the game, and that's going to be what you use to get it. So those are your options for winning the game. Again, the simplest ones, time, at the end of time, beat all the other nations, or science. Those would be my recommendations for victory conditions. These other ones are interesting to check out and try, but they are significantly more different and weird typically. Settings, good stuff, rivals met, aggressive financial. So the Incas are actually, we probably shouldn't attack the Romans then. We should probably attack the Incans since they are aggressive. Resolution, spaceship. So this tells you what these are. Hey, that's a cool effect. You can click on these like bloop, 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 bloop. Sorry, I entertained very easily. And that is about it. Here's the info screen, which lets you know how you're doing. The demographics, top 5 cities. Pongo, which is currently the best. Wait. No. Wait. Yes. Pongo's the best with a population of 5, where these other two have 2. We grew up really fast because we have so many rivers and stuff going on there. Statistics. The graph is what I've always found particularly interesting because it shows the score. You can have different counters on here, so like power, crop yield, mfg, jnp, culture, score. I like score personally. And then it'll just keep on showing up as time goes on. All right. Let's end turn, and they didn't attack us. Son of a Weasley. Priesthood. This way. So let's go that way. Okay, here we go. Now we get to see if we lose or if we win. We win! With flying colors, it seems. So hopefully we should have a promotion here pretty soon. Then I can show that. Also, our unit should be about healed soon. Yep. So you remember earlier it took, I don't know, like, what was it, 7 turns? And by getting here, it took significantly less. So when you heal your units in your own territory, they heal much faster. Masonry. Alright, let's just put this guy back in there. Let's go this way. Hinduism has been founded in the distant land. Oh, here we go. Now we get to see a group effort. Everyone attacks. Whoopsh, whoopsh, whoopsh. Whoopsh. Victory for us all. You'll bring honor to us all. Sailing, that's pretty pointless in this particular game, but we'll do it anyways. Alright, defend here. You'll notice that this guy's not going into my territory. That is because we do not have an open borders pact, so they can't get in. Alright, let's go this way. Must keep the mother base safe. Okay. So, about now is when I would look at works, wonders, basically. And these are these long working things. So, you got 3 different types of things you can build. Units, which you can move around and do stuff with the map. Alright. You have buildings, like the granary, which will give you bonuses from different ways and increases growth. It's good all around in every game that I've ever played. I've always liked having the granary personally, or the obelisk. That's really useful in this one too. But you'll notice that the obelisk goes obsolete with calendar. So once you get a calendar, then the obelisk it's not useful anymore. It's no longer getting you culture, and it was just a waste of turn. So early on it's useful, later on it's not. The third type of building is a wonder, and they give you a benefit for a certain amount of time. So for the pyramids, for example, you have points towards the great engineer, you get a lot of culture, you enable all government civics, for 74 turns. That's significantly different than it was in Call to Power. I never noticed that. That would be interesting, because then maybe you could get the benefits of your different government systems. I don't know. It would be much faster to make this, though, if we had walls, which also doubles production speed with stone, which I believe this is made with stone. So you'd be able to make this significantly faster if we made walls. So that's a building, though, rather than a wonder. Or Stonehenge, which gives you another bonus. Or the Oracle, which science really wants because it doubles production speed with marble. And it also... What does it have to... Oh, 1 free technology. That's why science wants it. So, what's so special about these types of buildings? You can only make a limited number of them. Only one person in the game is going to be able to make the pyramids or Stonehenge or the Oracle. And once somebody has made that one, that city keeps it. So you exclusively get rights to that wonder. And that then makes it extremely valuable to race for these. If someone else is building one of these right now and I start late and I don't have enough production to finish it before them, all of that work that I'm putting in is for basically naught. It gets converted into gold to compensate me, but the loss of production is still pretty awful, just in general. But I'm not ready to jump into one of those yet. Let's make an obelisk because I like building buildings. Let's go... Wait. Let's put both of these together. Where would be a good place to build a city? Nowhere. Let's build it right in the middle of this nonsense. This seems like an awful idea. Let's do it. They will all hate us for it. Do that. Let's go right there. Now this is our only defending unit. So if you want to go in there, you have to declare war on them. It's not a good idea. I don't want to, but I want to demonstrate what it's like to just go to war with somebody, so let's do it. With this, okay, again, emphasizing, this is a bad idea. Too early in the game to declare war on somebody, especially on the second place person. Does our military advisor give us anything? Let's see here. I don't think our military advisors actually... Do we even have that option? In Civ 5, you could look at your advisors and be like, what do you think we should do? And they'll be like, meh, you should crush them because we are greater than them in every way. And I don't see that. Alright, let's do this nonsense. I'm going to just cover my eyes. Here we go. Here we go. Declare war. Looking away. Looking away. The gongs of war have started. So now, any other units that they control around us are going to march on us. So this might not be a good unit to have around here anymore. So let's cancel that. And yeah. That's not a good spot that we want to attack them. So if we attack them here, you should see that combat odds are 21%. That's a bad number. We want to go here. Now we have some defense. And let's stand up on the mountain. And let's approach that way. We'll just let those guys do their own thing. Uh-oh. 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 That was a close one. Almost lost that one. They're not fighters. As you can see, they cannot attack. Let's do writing. Okay. They can't attack though, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to bring that guy back into my own territory. And I'm going to walk this guy towards the borders. What are you going to do? You going to attack me, man? Good luck with that. Okay. This should be interesting next turn. We'll see if they attack me. Alright, great risk. Who's at great? Wait, let me examine the city first. Wait. So unprotected, leaving it at great risk. The trained defensive unit Archer would appease the world's citizens. Oh, they want me to build that. No, forget it. I'm the one in charge here. You're not the boss of me. Alright. I want to attack with you and hit them. Kablat. Kablat. Yeah. And then you want to keep your settler on top of that in case somebody like sneaks up on you somehow. Can happen. Oof. Look at those odds. That's awful. Oof. Okay, we'll go this way. And 2 turns, let's just heal here for a second. And maybe they'll make the mistake of not moving. They moved. Dang it. Okay, let's build that. And let's re-link these two together. Let's move back over to our hill. Oh, that's where they recommend us to build. Over here? No. We're building on our hill. Okay. So, with odds this bad, I really don't want to attack. It's a bad idea. But if you want to read it, the reasons why it's so bad, we would get the advantage of a first strike. But the city has 40% from tile defense, 25% from unit fortified, 50% from city unit ability, and 1 first strike. Don't know how that works. Let's just demonstrate just what a bad idea it is to attack them. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. I told you it was a bad idea. You only attack with 1 at a time instead of all of them, which is different than Call to Power, and I don't remember if Civ 5 does it differently. I'm not a fan, though. You slowly can break your way through. It takes a really long time, though. Typically, you're not going to attack another city until you have siege weapons. So, yeah. Let's bring this one back. As you can see, the 1 unit just defending the area can do a lot of real good in defending the city. So that's why I always keep 1 unit around the city. Barbarians are especially bad about taking them over. I don't even know how they're able to do it so fast. It's kind of upsetting, really. Open borders sounds like an awful deal. Let's do it. Get out of here. The reason why open borders sounds like a bad deal is that a lot of times the NPCs will open borders with you, march like all their armies in there and be like, hey, what's up? We're declaring war. And then they attack you. So, yeah, that tends to happen. So, my general rule of thumb is don't trust the computers at all. All right, let's build a worker. Why not? Oh, we're already building a worker. Well, crap. What does this one require? Pasture. We want a pasture. We will do that now. So let's show how to end conflict. Can I double click here? Can I right click here? Okay. No, you can't. So let's have a talk with them. Oops. This war spoils our relationship. We are upset that you have fallen under the sway of a heathen religion. You declare war on us. Oh, it's you. Now my day is complete. Let's stop fighting and declare peace. You beg and plead like... You may beg and plead... Blah, 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 blah. It's late at night. Don't judge me. You may beg and plead all you like, Santa Claus. But it will do you no good. This war continues until the gods grow tired of it. Screw you. This is why I'm not attached to any of the NPCs. They don't do me any good. No, I don't want to do slavery. Polytheism. Oh boy. Alright, so this unit has now been promoted. First, let's build a city. And we will name this city, what did we name the last one? Pongo? Let's name this one Spot. Going with the Dalmatian theme. And let's build a warrior. And so this unit has been hurt, so I imagine I defended from this guy recently. Let's do city attack, jungle defense, strength. Let's just do strength. And let's fortify here. So again, we're in our territory, so fortifying will be good. We're also on good land where we are defended, so a lot of good stuff can come from this. Yeah, they're not going to attack us here. That's just not going to happen. Fully healed, let's defend. Judaism has been founded in Cusco. What? Really? That's, I didn't know that they had Judaism there. That's an interesting choice. Then again, I don't think the Romans invented, Buddhism, so you know, it's a fun mix that they just bring to the game. All right, at this point it's just I'm gonna wait until something interesting happens. So I'm not gonna try to make peace anymore. Eventually the computer will get tired of it because there's a strain on the population for war typically. Nope. That's the problem with playing other Civilization games, is that you get them all mixed up. It's about time that I wrap up this here video. If anybody has still stuck around to this point, thank you so much. Let's look at some more progressed games, though. Okay. Let's jump into this game. Whichever one this one was. What was this again? I don't even remember what I was doing. It's been so long ago. Anarchy! Okay. Let's try to get a bearings on what we have going on here. So I got 2 cities. Okay. That sounds like me. That's not me. That's me. Oh, I know why I abandoned this game. It wasn't a good one. So again, I was playing my whole, I'm just going to do my own thing and not worry about anybody else. And so while I was doing that, everyone else seemed to take off ahead of me. Didn't turn out so great. But that's where like the city view can let you know what you have got yourself in for. You got culture, and you have a bunch more science. So this gives you an idea of how I progressed, at least a little bit, and what I got and where I had to go still. This wasn't a good game. This is upsetting. Let's not look at this game anymore. Okay, let's go to this one. Final turn. What was this final turn? I don't remember. I think this is the game that I won like in 3 different ways just to see what it's like. Yup, that would be me. There was somebody else that was on this continent with me, and I was like, get out! You can't be on my continent, it's mine! So I just took over the whole place. That's just Atratzu Strategies 101 on Civilization. I like having my own island. I feel safe, fortified, defended. So we have... It's kind of cool how far you can zoom out, isn't it? Kind of disorienting in a way. Okay, so let's have a look at what we have here for the graph. As you can see, there was a clear point in this game that I rose above the rest of them. There's also this thing that happened to this poor yellow line. I can't imagine what happened to this poor yellow line. Maybe they were the ones that were on my island. Actually, I'm sure they were the ones on my island. Top 5 cities. What? Not even my city's on there. Rome's there. So I've got second best city, but I'm still ahead of all the rest of them. Score. Do we have anything for science? Manufactured goods. Crop yield. Power. Actually, I don't have that much power. That's kind of funny. Let's see where we sit diplomatically. Have I bombed these people yet? Because during the game, I made nukes just to see what it was like. It's not nearly as devastating as in Civilization Call to Power, thankfully. You refuse to help us. You refuse to help us during wartime. You refuse to help us. You refuse to give us tribute. That's what I hate the most. I hate it when an NPC contacts you and it's like, hey, give us money. I'm like, yeah, no, how about no? Cautious towards Atratzu. Years of peace have strengthened our relations. You have traded with our worst enemies. You refuse to stop trading with our worst enemies. Yeah, because it's a good deal, man. 1 year of peace have strengthened our relationship. You declare war against our friends. You refuse. Yeah, because your friends probably are on the same continent as me, or they declared it against me. It's always double standards, I tell ya. Hate it. You declare war on our friends. You refuse to give us tribute. You refuse to help us during wartime. Silk. See, he's still trading with me, though, so it's not that bad. Annoyed towards Atratzu. Cautious. Cautious. Friendly. Cautious. This is just typically what ends up happening. People are tentatively trusting of me. Look at all this. Look at all this technology that I have. 50 gold for all trade. 50 gold for all trade. Resources. Look at all these resources. I bet they would like those. Active. These are the trade that's currently available. So this is what the game looks like towards the end of it. So there's only one more turn until we time out. And then we get to see what happens when we win the game. Because we have the highest score. So this is a score victory that I did. Didn't feel like conquering everyone. The bigger the map, the longer it takes. So, let's just see what it happens when you end. Enter, end. Atratzu wins. A victory time. Atratzu has won a time victory. Then we have this cool scene here. So you can watch this map progress and you kind of get a graphic that shows you how your nation has developed. So, oh man, this yellow square here. I wonder what happens to them. Play. It's like ka-chink. Plink. It'll happen. Down in front. We're gonna watch this whole thing happen. We're gonna watch the whole thing. This is the most interesting stuff that you could come to YouTube to watch. History of Atratzu and its conquest of Isle Atratzu. Oh, we're expanding a little bit. Oh, there's my first city there. Oh, they built a city close to me. I hate it when they do that. Oh, I built another city over here. They keep on expanding. See, these people had their own islands. Wait, nope, these two didn't. This one had it. Nope, wait, they didn't either. This guy had his own island. All right. See, and then he's just like, I'm going to build cities everywhere. I'm just like, oh, can you not? Can you have less cities, please? Get out of here. So at this point, I was just like, you know what? I think I've had enough of. There it is. Atratzu declares war. So there, took the first city, because that's when I got siege equipment. So I got siege equipment, and I was like, let's get this party started. So this is the next one to go. Yeah, I think I took and destroyed that city. Took this one. Oh, I did take them over. Took that one, and then there's one left, and he's like, please, I'll make peace with you. I'll take whatever you want. Did I make peace? I think I made peace. Yeah, I did. I made peace, and then I declared war again after that. So, you know, just insult to injury. I'm really awful when it comes to NPCs. And I was just like, this is my island. Get off. Technically, it's their island too. I didn't say that their people had to leave. Their people were able to stay there. It was just the leader. There was no other foreign influence that I had in the area. The whole island was mine at that point. Let's speed this up a little bit. You get the idea. Now it's just I take it over and I just get my own little purple blob here. And then everyone else kind of fights and does their own thing, and I already have my whole island. I'm just like, I'm going to just progress. That's all I'm going to do now. And there we go. Time spent, 3 hours. Oh, gives you a time. So I had 3 hours in this game. I play pretty slow. Next. Nope, no more nexting. Exit. Info screen gives you the graphic that we already saw, and then it gives you a score. Oof, I didn't do good this time. I thought I had a higher score than that. Thought I had that. Maybe it's just because I loaded it. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that too much. The score lets you know how you did. So if you did bad, then it's going to be down here. If you did good, you're Augustus Caesar. So there you go. If I just conquered everybody, I'd get Augustus Caesar typically, because your score would just be huge when you conquer another nation. It boosted me up really fast when I conquered the other one, so that's just a typical thing in Civilization. Alright, let's exit again. Main menu. As you can see, there was wait one more turn option, so that's how you can keep on winning and experiencing the rest of the game, but you don't get any more additional scores at that point. Well then, that is it. Hopefully this has been some value, or at least, you know, therapeutic to listen to me talk about my experiences playing Civ 4, or Civ Iv. Yeah, Civ 4. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Atratzu. Thank you so much for hanging out, watching, and yeah, see you next time. Atratzu out.